So hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. Today what we're going to be talking about is the things I love about this bike. Now, if you watched the totality of the first ride review or early ownership review I did on this guy, you probably, yeah, we'll get past. You probably have a good idea already. Nice fan, by the way. But, you know, one or two people have mentioned to me that they like those style of videos, which I've actually been getting a lot of contact with styles of videos people like, which is really cool. If you like a style of video, please do let me know. It's really cool to hear that. But yeah, straight into it. I don't have any particular number. I'm just going to talk about the things that I like on this bike. And first and foremost, it has to be, you know, the power plant, the engine, how it delivers power, how it rides on the road. This bike is plenty of fun when I've actually gotten to proper twisty roads. On my commute home I don't have that many. But yeah, definitely how it handles, how it delivers power is really, really nice. And also when you're just cruising at 4,000 revs, riding that wave of torque, peak torque is around 4,000 revs. It's just so nice, it's super smooth. And it's good on fuel when you're just cruising, which, you know, isn't important to a lot of people, but if you're using it every day, it's definitely a nice to have. I don't really pay attention to the MPG generally, except that I actually was recently because I'm working it up for a commuter review. But it is definitely a nice to have. But it's just, it sounds good with this exhaust I have on there. It feels good, and it's a Two Brothers Racing exhaust on there, by the way, carbon Two Brothers Racing exhaust. Well, it's just a really nice bike to ride. It is, you know, it's super nice, super smooth. Power is good, sounds good, feels good, tastes good. Not that I've tasted my bike much, not often. One or two licks a day, you know, just to make sure it still tastes right. Can't let your bike start to go sour, you know. You have to give it a taste every now and again. Speaking of sour, it actually does need to clean. I've killed plenty of flies recently, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll get it clean. So yeah, definitely number one, the engine, just how it delivers power, how it sounds. It's just a really nice thing. Number two, which again, like I said, if you did watch the early owner's review, you'd know a lot of this already. The suspension and braking on this are just a breath of fresh air, you know, like from new. And again, this is the newest bike I've ever owned, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that a lot of newer bikes are more kind of nicely balanced, I suppose, for everyone. But like from new, the suspension on this is adjustable to me, and I'm a heavy big man. And the brakes just work really, really well from new, you know, like I never had to look straight away at putting double H brake pads in there. You know, I've never felt like the master cylinder was too bad. It's not amazing, it's just not too bad. It's very good for the bike it's set up for. A little bit more feel would be nice, but in reality it's pretty damn perfect for what the bike is, which is a road going bike. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not much else to say about it other than I think they did a really good job balancing this bike from factory, suspension, brakes wise. Yeah, one of you guys can go. I know the rules. I get to go next because I stopped next. Haha. I never take it on faith that someone's not going to knock me over though. What else? Yeah, suspension and brakes, really, really like them. Really like them. They're absolutely fantastic. It's, like I said, it's genuinely a breath of fresh air to have suspension that's actually set up to cater for larger people from factory. Whether that was intentional or whether they were just planning on having people really load this up with luggage as an ADV tour type bike, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is it works really well for me, and has really just allowed me to enjoy the bike a lot more straight off the bat. You know, I just dialed up the preload on the front and the back slightly when I bought it, and it's been perfect since. Handles lovely, the tire wear is good. It's just good, you know. It's just really, really good, and I wish more bikes were made stock like this that just work really well. And I suppose that kind of is a third thing then, is the comfort. The stock seat could be better. It could be a little bit taller, maybe a touch wider. But overall, the comfort is really, really good. Especially, I did have to change the back to the stock screen. So the original screen I got was quite buffety. I didn't like that. Wasn't a fan. But this stock screen is wunderbar. Now I know some people are going to come after me for that, but I am taller than your average bear, so maybe the screen just hits me a little bit better. And I do always wear earplugs when I ride bikes. So if someone's like, "Oh, mine is really noisy," yeah, I wear earplugs, so I can't tell. And I do advise everyone should wear earplugs if they ride bikes a lot, because you will damage your hearing. It's a fact. You 100% will damage your hearing from the wind noise. So bear that in mind. Your hearing is important. Please look after your hearing. The one thing I'll say is the bars could be a little bit wider, a little bit wider anyway, maybe a little bit taller for standing up. But overall, like on a daily basis, like I said, I do 80 miles a day on this in and out of work, and it's just very, very pleasant, very, very pleasant. Comfort wise, I like it, and I know I can get different seats and whatnot, and I know there's a subscriber of mine who's very kindly offered to send me a tall seat in his own time. I am not rushed about it at all, and I really appreciate the fact he's doing that, so there will never be any pressure from my end. It'll be cool to test it though at some point. What else? Aftermarket support definitely is another huge bonus. This being a 2015, it's the newest bike I've ever owned, and I can still buy skid plates for it. I can still buy panniers, top boxes, tank bags, tank lock rings, screens. It's just really, really nice. And the fact it's a Suzuki, some people consider it a bad thing that they're kind of like a parts bin bike. I do not. I consider it kind of a strength of Suzuki that they're a little bit of a parts bin bike, just because you have a lot of options for your how do you say it? You have a lot of options for your basically your support of the bike. Like the fact that I have Aprilia mirrors on this, the Aprilia mirrors fit straight out of the box. I ordered them from AF1Racing.com, and yeah, no complaints there. Just again, they just kind of one of those things that was just a really nice to have, that I could do that, because otherwise you're paying a little bit more. These were I think $90 delivered and fit straight on. So I mean that's nice. But yeah, aftermarket support, definitely another huge bonus. I'm trying to think what else. There's definitely more. Aftermarket support. What else do I like about the bike? I kind of like that it's I should also mention the size. I mean, it's a funny one, because I never thought that I would own a ADV style bike at this age, I suppose. I always kind of was like, no, I want to stick with my bigger, sportier bikes, but I changed my tune, after riding a few, and I have bad knees. I've injured my knees a lot, so that didn't help. That didn't help at all. I had to kind of get on with it and see about getting a bike that kind of suited my shape and size more than the thing that really sung to my heart, And I have to say, one of the things I like about it is the fact that it's an ADV bike, but it's an ADV style bike in the fact that I still have upside down front forks, I still have cast wheels. It's kind of like the best of sports touring and ADV. It's still kind of like semi-sporty for me. Like you can still ride this fast around corners, it's not, it doesn't have a huge big different size front wheel or anything like that. It just still handles really good. But I really can tell the difference now when I hop from this onto the CB750. My knees and hips really can tell the difference. This is a much more neutral seated position, and even in comparison to the CB1000, it's just a very comfortable place to be. And I think it's just, yeah, one of the things I like about it, I suppose, is the height seating position, which kind of falls under comfort, I suppose. But this isn't scripted. I'm just telling you what I like about my bike. And I do like that it's a Suzuki. I have been a fan of Suzuki for a long time. I like Suzuki as a brand. You know, the Gixxer is one of my favorite, despite all the jokes that go on about Gixxers. Let's go in here and look at these houses being built. We'll finish the video there. Hello. Okay, no wave back from him, you prick. Suck a duck. That is duck, by the way. I said duck, the animal with the wings that flies, the bird. Mallard, suck a mallard. But yeah, just the fact it's a Suzuki, it's not like some overpriced thing that's gonna break. It's simple, you know, it's not something crazy expensive like a multi-strada. And I mean, don't get me wrong, would I buy a multi-strada? Absolutely. But I do like that this is a Suzuki. I do like that it's a nice simple V-twin. Multi-stradas are great. I would own a multi-strada V4 in a heartbeat if I could afford one, but I can't. And also a multi-strada V4 would be a lot harder to maintain. So, you know, there's lots to these decisions. But for me, certainly, I like the fact that this is the bike that it is, from the manufacturer that it's from. Those are nice houses. They just have no garages. I don't like that they have no garages. Why do they have no garages? That's kind of smelly. And then the last thing, and this is going to shock people, one thing that I actually really do like about this bike, because I look at it every single day, we have to get off of this, I really like the stance. I like the look of this bike, the aesthetics. Okay, the engine bars add to it, for sure. They're Tractech engine bars. The beak is something I know is contentious with people, but I really do like the look of this bike a lot. It's actually the color, the kind of two-tone, you know, subframe being silver, with the Tractech engine bars being silver with the two-tone engine. I really like this color scheme. I really like the look of the bike. One thing I suppose with the beak, I actually would like the last generation V-Strom if it had a less ER looking front end. I think this would be even better, with like no beak and maybe still one headlight, but just no beak. I don't know, can you take off the beak? I probably won't ever bother, to be honest. I don't mind it, but it's just this kind of muscular tank on it I do like a lot. And you know, a lot of the stuff I've been looking at is kind of black panniers, black top box, but I might also get, you know, two-tone panniers, because you can get like silver and black ones from Hepco and Becker, which I think would be cool. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's what I like about my V-Strom. I pretty much like everything about it. You know, generally these videos go hand in hand with like a what I don't like, and I would find what I don't like a hell of a lot harder to hit upon, because there's really not much. Like, if there's anything, I'd really have to sit down and think about it. Off the top of my head, I'm actually trying to think right now. I don't think there's anything I'd say I don't like. It's been a really good purchase from like I like this experience, you know. I have zero to few complaints, which is a really nice thing to be able to say. So yeah, there you go. There's another thing. I like that the V-Strom is like just this inoffensive daily thing that's still fun when you want it to be. It's just a nice bike. And actually that does fall into one of the other things I do like about the whole engine package that I didn't mention, is that the Suzuki is very happy going relatively fast, but it doesn't like going too fast. And as someone on a visa who can get deported if they get a big speeding offence, you know, if I was doing like over 100 miles an hour or whatever else, this doesn't like being there. So it's kind of been pleasant just being able to, because everyone who owns bikes will know, you know, bikes are happy at a particular rev range. Their engines, they're just like, yeah, I'm good here, this is nice. Where this sits, where it's nice, is like fast enough to keep up with faster traffic, we'll put it that way, you know. And I really like that. So yeah, I just really like this bike. I hope that answers everyone's questions who have questions on it. If you do have any further questions, please do leave them in the comments. And yeah, if you watched this far, I appreciate the hell out of it. Thank you very much. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. I do really appreciate your support you give to the channel all of the time. And yeah, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. What is your favorite thing about your current bike? What's your bike and what's your favorite thing about it? Let me know. Let me know. I want to know. I want to know what bikes you have, and I want to know what your favorite thing is. Let me know in the comments. Bye, outro crew.